G'day, I'm Adrian, and this is my place. G'day everyone. Well, my little buddy's not here to say hello today. He's actually put himself to bed. It's pretty late. I've been filming all day. It's Saturday evening, about 8:05, and I've had an awesome day in the fish room. So the weather conspired against me this week to be able to do the full tour. Which is cool because Nick's going to come back from keeping fish simple and do another full video, and there's so much that's changed. I can't wait for him to get back. What I am going to do though is go through and do a general tour and just give you a look around, see what's going on, and we'll go into more depth obviously when he gets here. So I am super excited to tell you about today. As you saw in the title, yes, I've got crabs, and no, my wife doesn't know. She will do if she watches the video. But yeah, I wasn't supposed to buy anything this week, maybe the next couple of weeks. But anyway, I couldn't help it. I saw it on Mad Aquarium's Instagram page, Jack from Mad Aquariums. Thank you, brother. I was stoked with them. I still am. I'm really happy with the way the tank turned out. It's the first time I've ever kept these guys. They're awesome. They're big. I'll put the correct details up once I find out what they are and actually go through it. But I'm really happy with the tank setup. I'm also going to go through the fry grow outs and what happened there. If you watched last week's video, you would have seen the eastern carpon python that got into our bird aviary and ate, I think it was 8 of our finches, which, yeah, we were not happy about. But anyway, that's what snakes do. So he's living a new life further down the creek, way further. And we went up today, my dad and I, and got some new birds, which is fantastic. I'm stoked with the ones that we got. And I'm going to show you them in the aviary tomorrow after they've settled down a bit and they're behaving normally. So get comfy because I'm going to talk about fish. So today I took a trip with my dad up to Mad Aquariums to see Jack, who had some of these guys. They are freshwater crabs, and he got them in stock. I saw them posted on Instagram. So if you're not following on Instagram, you need to jump on there because that's where the specials come and go very quickly. So these guys, if you haven't visited Mad Aquariums before, Jack has an excellent store. I mean, some of these tanks here, these scapes, are just incredible. I'm blown away, and he has some really cool tank scaping skills. There's no doubt about it. He's an expert in it. So he also has a ton of fish all the time, really good range, really good selection, always great customer service, and all the staff are brilliant. So if you go in there, say AB said to come in and check it out, please go and say hello to them all because they're awesome. He got me these freshwater crabs, which I've never kept this particular species before. I'm going to put the species name up on the screen now because I didn't take it down when I was up there, of course. So what I'm going to do is set up a tank for them. I'm going to build a shelf and a rack, perhaps on the back of one of my this new fry rack system that I've got set up, or the grow out I should say. So I'm going to pop it on the back over here, and yeah, I'll show you when it's done. So that's it done. We would say MacGyvered in the old days, just out of bits and pieces that I had. I should have enough support there. I'm only going to half fill that tank, and this shelf used to hold all of my bonsais outside before we built the other rack. So yeah, this has become a really cool part of the fish room actually, especially now I'm going to put crustaceans in here, because what I'm going to put here is this guy. He was an impulse buy for me a couple of weeks ago, and he has been living out his quarantine in this tank here. So you can see he's pretty spectacular. I'll show you some footage of when I got him. Check out how blue this guy is. Almost perfect. I'm very happy with that. So here's an algae wafer for your dinner, mate. See if he eats, but I am very happy with my impulse purchase yet again. It's been about an hour now, and that's probably as full as it's ever going to get with the water. This tank has given me some trouble before, so it's probably not the best one to have tried on the MacGyver, but let's give it a crack. Time to scape it now, so this is going to be fun. Now we have a blank canvas, and I'm going to try to keep a distance between the top lip and these guys being able to get out. This tank has been repaired a few times with some silicone and some perspex, so hopefully it'll be okay. I'm not going to fill it up too much. What I'm going to do is place some rocks and some hides around, and also some land areas for the crabs to be able to get out on, and if possible even a sand area. So what I'm going to use are these rocks here, which I've collected from my other farm in the creek. Just going to have a look at this. Check this out. I don't think the camera will pick this up, but how cool is that? Hopefully not too much glare. Just that sunlight coming in like that. That is so cool. Sorry, back to it. So these rocks come from my river and creek down on my farm. So it seems, yep, I have an abundance of rocks to be able to choose from. But the reality is that it's an hour and a half drive for me to get down there, and I grab what I can when I'm down there. So the river changes every week without exception, and I've always got something new being washed in, be it timber or rocks. And you know, if you live somewhere that's an hour and a half away from a creek that you could do the same thing, well, you have the same access to this sort of stuff as I do. And if not, then going to places like Jack or Mad Aquariums up in Brisbane, and then Ross down at RC Aquariums on the Gold Coast is you know, it's a great option because they get all this stuff for you. You don't have to go collecting it. So, but just check out some of these rocks. I mean, you'll see in the video where I collected that one from. I just walk along and have a look at the textures and how I could actually use them. And sometimes I get a heap of these red ones. Sometimes I'll go the grey ones. Sometimes I'll mix them up. But other times I like these flat ones, because if you have a look at this here, you can see the difference in the textures and the levels here. So for a nano tank and shrimp tank, I find them ideal. So that's a bit of an insight as to where I get my escaping stuff from. So now I'm going to put it together, and hopefully it looks alright. So I'm at the stage here that I've got, from what I can see, the hardscape pretty much sorted out. I've got a sponge filter which I'm going to have drawing from both sides, and I was going to have that on its edge. I still might, but I think what I'm aiming to do is to have this level here, to put some flat rocks on here and some mosses, and have this bubbling out like a spring, and then build this up so this is the land area that they can get up on. And I'll probably put another land area up here so they can get away from each other if that's what they want, and then I'll fashion some sort of top to go across here to make sure they don't get out. So, but where that bowl is where the height of the water will be. The tank's quite dirty. I noticed it's got some paint on it on the outside, so I have to get a scraper and maybe some metho and get that off. So anyway, time to build it. Okay, so there's the tank from the top down. If you have a look there, I've got the sponge filter with no riser on it, just at the top. I'm hoping that I can get the water about half an inch above that and just have it bubbling, and then follow this little stream down that I've made onto the sand, and it should just filter out and over it, and the sand will stay there. And then that will all then be dry land up there for them. Another plant I think I'll stick there. The pothos was attached to the sponge filter. I don't know if you saw that in the last shot, so it's staying. I've got some val in. I think this will probably be sacrificial val. I've got a feeling that they're going to eat that, but anyway, that'll be good green food for them. And I'm hoping the tip of that's out of the water as well. So from this perspective, the tank's dirty. I've got to scrape it with the glass, and I will do another shot at the end there, but that's how it looks, I guess, from their view, is that they have a 3D world to go into. This is a terrible view because of the dirty tank, but essentially I've got in there is a free channel to the sponge filter. In there is another hide, which I'll show you when I've got better clarity, and then another clear channel over here to the sponge filter. Yes, it will be extremely difficult to change, and I will probably never do it, but that's how that tank looks now for the crabs. So I'm going to fill it up, drain it, fill it up again, and hopefully release them. Well, there you go. It's done. I gotta say, I'm pretty happy with it. So, I've got the sponge filter working exactly how I thought it would. It's bouncing off those rocks and then coming down this little stream, which I've put moss in selected places. It's lower than down here, lower here, off there over the Java moss, and then into the tank. So I've got a sacrificial sword as well. I think I'll see how they go. If they eat it, well, at least they get the nutrients from that, but they also get the fun of doing it. If that's what crabs do, then how cool. So that's the above water, and then below it's clearing up. But for my first real crab tank, I have kept them before, but not this variety, not this size, that's for sure. I've got to say I'm happy, particularly with the way that little stream's bubbling along. I didn't want to have to run power and a pump. I just wanted to hook it into my air system, and that's what I've done. I've used spider plants there to sort of set off the pothos there. You'll see I used the rule of thirds with uneven numbers in there. I think the same with the moss, but when you get that much, it's probably not so important. I actually built this lid as well out of the core flute, and I've just got a little latch there for anyone wondering how I'm going to keep them in there. And I can still see up there quite easily. They've got a really good area to get out on the beach there. They've got the log running underneath. So that one there, that flow goes right through to, if you can see, if I can get a shot in here. Not really, but if you can see from the top, from the three-dimensional side, it goes underneath that log and then around and into the channel that I've got for the sponge filter to suck through that way. on this side, I've got this little cave in here underneath the log and up against the brick, and you'll see the pot there still, but it's black so you don't see it. And this one is the one that I couldn't show earlier because it was so dirty. I actually cleaned that up with a razor blade and just water. And that's the other channel that goes around to the sponge filter, which then brings it up and over the top, obviously down the stream. And yeah, I'm happy. Like, it's actually the first thing I see as I come out the door, which is great. The other one will be next to it with the fry rack, and I like the fact that it's blue. I only have one of the tank, which is the 8-footer, which is blue, so I'll always be able to check these guys out just with a glance as I'm walking through. So there you go, another job done. Alright, this is the exciting part. If this was on Instagram, I'd have the song "This is the best part." So here they are, all ready to go into their new homes, and hopefully I'll be able to get a good shot of them coming out. I don't know whether I should pick them up and release them. Maybe I'll try that. There we go. How cool. 2 girls and a boy. Oh yeah, that's good. Oh yes. How cool. Alright, this is the boy. He's got the big nipper. Apparently he had 2 big nippers but lost one. Oh, where's that? There he is. So he's going to go in. Ouch. He nearly got me. He got the top there so I can watch her go. That's it. Downriver. How cool. Alright, and the last little girl is going to go in. See where she goes. Oh, she's going the other way. Well, there's one plant down. And she's in. Let's see if we can see him in the tank. I absolutely love seeing when I make a cave or a hide or something for an animal and it uses it. Oh look, bit of scrapping going on. There's plenty of room, guys. Come on. Leave each other alone. I'm not sure where the other one is. But yeah, very happy. I've got a rudimentary hinge at the moment with some tape. I hid the airline with this little bit of bark. So that's a good job done for today, and I'm super happy with it. Quick fry update. So for anyone that did watch last week's video when I took the eggs from the stir-by river tank and I just dropped them in here, I didn't put in the bit where I spoke about what I don't do, which is I don't add chemicals. So in it, I don't put methylene blue, I don't put anything in. I put preferably old tank sand in there. I put obviously swasitang in this time. I have areas for them to hide underneath and also areas for them to be able to get to the surface, because they've got to get to the surface. And in fact, with corridors, it's better to have as little water as possible for the babies to get to the top. So it's been, I guess, 5 days. So I noticed, there we go, some little fry swimming around. So they're now at the stage that I will feed them. So I don't have any green water, unfortunately. So all I'm doing is running the water up from that pump down the back there and just up and through the little fire rack. I haven't got it set up properly because I'm going to redo that in tomorrow, so you'll see that shortly. But now, because it's night time, I'm just going to grab a little bit of feed. So you'll see it's next to nothing. It's just dust on my fingers. But hopefully you'll see when I put it in the water and I just wash my fingers, see how maybe you can see how it clouds up. So Nick's from Keeping Fish Simple, his bug buffet is brilliant for this, but I've run out of it and he's in the States. Nick, if you're watching, brother, I love your food, would love some more. So that there is enough. You don't have to have green water to raise fry. You don't have to have baby brine shrimp. If you do that, rubbing technique and just milking up the water, then you're going to get the results that I've got down here, because I don't think I had green water for any of these guys, and I've got at least 23 stir-bys in there, and you saw all the others in the other tank. So I think it just comes down to the dedication. If you're going to do that 3 times a day, you're going to get a way better fry survival rate. Let's check out some of the babies. The fry rack needs a general tidy up. It's working fine. I set it up in a hurry. It's modelled after Dean from Dean's Fish Room, his version of fry racks. Hello, miss. Nice to see you. So I've just got a small pump at the back there, and all it does, it has no filter or floss or sponge around it. It essentially comes up to what is a 3/4 irrigation tube, some lines, and I've got an overflow here as well. This light's painful. I've got it jimmied up there at the minute. So what I'm going to do is move this guy and then work on hanging that light and just redoing the tank sort of in general as just a clean up, and then maybe a bit of a water change, and just make sure that pump is working properly as well. I thought I'd quickly just show this because I came across these couple of dodgy bits of Bucephalandra floating in the fry tank when I was cleaning it. So I've just grabbed one of the rocks. I've had a look at it, which way I think it would sit nicely in a tank, little nano tank or something. Position it, and I want this one to grow along there. So I picked 2 spots in the rock that I want to stick it to. Now, I always end up sticking my fingers. Okay, so now hopefully I won't do that. And I'm just going to pick the spots on the ridge that I think the plant would naturally grow. Try to get just some of the rhizome or the dead rhizome on it. And hopefully it will stay. The other one, just looking at which way it's growing, which is up this way. So I'm going to put him over here so they grow upwards and meet at the top. So a bit of gel carefully place it on, hold it for a second. Now it doesn't really matter which way they're facing, although it's good to get them facing up, as they will turn very quickly towards the light. So now I reckon in a month's time, sorry about that, there we go, in a month's time, I'll come back to that and show you, but I reckon it'll look great. So that's the fry rack cleaned out. It's had probably 50% water change, sponge filter cleaned the other pump. I've lifted this light. I just got it hung up with some bonsai wire, but does the trick because it now allows me to get to the manifold nice and easily, keep these all flowing from that pump. I've got a little bit coming through here, so most of the big particles will come through there, but the rest of it, I'll just be set up like this, where once the tank is in this way, horizontally I guess, the water flows out of there into there and then through a 38mm outlet or sponge there. So I've left this tank outside. This is one of the other ones. I just leave them full of water in a shady position outside till I'm ready to use again, and then I'll give that a quick rinse through. But that's the size of the hole. Just a Kmart tank, little tub in the kitchen section. I think it costs $3 or $4, and this is just some aluminium runner that I had that I cut up because it fitted in nicely for the ends to just sit on. So that's the fry rack. This, of course, would fit in this way. I'm going to do it one-handed. And then I would just run this line over here and into here at the opposite end of the sponge. So that's the fry rack finished for now. Still a little bit clunky, but for me it works well. And of course then everything goes over here into the grow out. You can see it looks pretty cool, I reckon. So here, this section, I'm going to have another one of these tanks, but just turned on its end. So it'll make a C shape on there, and I'll have that little workspace in between, which is good. I thought I had some workspace back over here. Now I've got all of the crustaceans down here. Yes, there is enough room for another tank, and yes, I will get one. But I've got this little guy, so I've had some really cool ideas on what I'm going to do with this. I'm not 100% sure. I've got two main ones, but I've never really worked on a tank that small. It's not much smaller than that one, but still. And it doesn't have any filtration, it's just a tank. So I'm going to have to work out the how that worked into my design. So I want it to be filtered. And Snowy over here, she's doing well. Hello, girl. So she was named by James's daughter when they came to visit, so she looks like she got snow all over her. I agree, good name for her. Okay, fry rack done. I better get in and do some water changes in the shrimp rack. Another one bites the dust. That's how the shrimp tank looks at the moment. They are getting a water change, probably 100% I would guess, through my water change system. If I can focus, maybe without the light. There we go. So that's just pouring through down the bottom and then going out the outlet there, which I have a net over so the shrimp can't get through, but that's how it's come up after a quick clean. Push some of the Sawasatine back because it was just everywhere. and I think the shrimp are happy. I didn't realise how many were in here. It's amazing cherry shrimp, they just adore water changes. It's one of the favourite things where Caradina, that tank that I did, was the what's it going to be down here? It was the fancy tigers, and they're not liking water changes at all. 10 to 20% for Caradina. Now that's what's the tank has grown in. It's one tank I can spend a lot of time looking at. That was a beautiful piece of timber too, and I chose it for the shrimp tank because it was so spectacular. But it was given to me by Tony. But yeah, the saucer tank had other ideas. Babies everywhere. This is, I cull this tank every now and again, just get the light ones out. I do have a, I think a pro tip for you actually. Oh, hang on, look at these guys first. Yeah, that's cool. Sort of why you do what you do, isn't it, really? Oh, sore knees today, but it's looking good. It'll clear up again overnight, and that's one of my favourite tanks at the moment. This tank here was my culls and had the very worst cherries of my group, and now look at them. So these guys are pretty spectacular for just shrimp, standard shrimp, cherry shrimp. This dude here. So how I've done that is I predominantly fed them on baby brine shrimp. So I think, yeah, it has the colour for sure. That definitely does it. And one of the other things that I've used for years, but I was reminded here because of the situation of where the tub is these guys, the frangipani leaves. So everyone knows these trees, and they also know about this milky sap that comes out the end of it. So I'm going to focus on that. There we go. So it's pretty toxic and it's bad for your hands, but this tree is over my main outdoor red cherry shrimp tank and continuously drops leaves in. So it doesn't do anything at all to the fish, and if you see there, the shrimp love them. They are all over them. So I found out about this particular trick probably about, I'm going to say 10 years ago now, when I went up to North Brisbane to get my first blue cherry shrimp. And the guy had a very similar situation to what I had outside, which was that his tanks were under a frangipani tree. I think I'll stick it at the back. A frangipani tree, and they it was the tubs, no filter in them, no air, and they were just full of these leaves. So I thought they'd kill them for sure, but no, they didn't. And ever since he has explained that to me years and years and years ago, I've always taken the opportunity to use them. And those frangipani trees in the pot have come back. Well, actually, they're in the pot for a reason. That's why they've come out here. So, yeah, we take them with us. Okay, so what have you got to say for yourself, my boy? What happens is Ziggy likes to assist me every day by taking anything that he can fit into his mouth, especially when I'm working with it, and leave it all over the yard. So, many times I've had to come out and get all of my items off of the front yard. So, yeah, Zig is the culprit. He's been caught red-handed. What do you got to say for yourself, boy? Anything? Alright, you're just going to be the sheriff. He just sits there and checks out what's going on in the neighbourhood most of the afternoon. Well, I'm pretty surprised, but the sun's out again, which is nice. This is our, we call them stinky ibis, or bush chicken. There's my little woman up there. Dad's been doing some work down here, putting pavers in and bits and pieces. This is the aviary, of course. Can't think of a better place to start the quick walk around. So I do have a bio barrel under here. I've decided I'm going to make a whole video just on bio barrels and the operations that I've got them all going in. So I might just lift the lid if I can. So it's operating beautifully. Both of these aviary ponds go into the to the bio barrel first, and then into a settlement chamber or a catchment area, and then get recycled and pumped back up there. So we'll go in and have a look, because you get to see the birds better in there. So this is the airlock door that we had left open, but we think the snake got in. You can stay there, Zig. You want to come in? All right. So it is snake proof, but we think it got through this door here. So this is where the finches are. And one of the quail boy or quail pair in there. You coming in? What are you doing? No? All right. He's fine, he doesn't chase them, but it's probably a bit tempting. So that's the aviary there. Their breeding area is through here, all different breeding boxes. Pretty sure that there is a finch on eggs in there at the moment. I can actually hear some babies chirping. So that's their breeding area, heat lamp for winter. And we do section this area off. We've got perspex on it here, but we actually do the same down there for winter. So the birds we got have settled in beautifully. Hang on, Ziggy wants to come in. So the birds we got yesterday have settled in beautifully. It's quite a long aviary. I'll measure it and put the dimensions down. I don't really remember what it is. This guy is a Gouldian finch. That's a boy, a male, with a dark purple on his chest. And that's his girlfriend or his wife with the lighter purple chest. We'll go on to the parrots next. We have... Ziggy's upset about something. There's also the black-headed. That's a black-headed female. Here's that. Another orange-headed male. And there's some blue-faced parrot finches. Here they are over here, if we can get him on this corner. That's the red-head Gouldian. And the blue-faced parrot finch. So they've settled in beautifully. The water needs attention, and we'll get it. But this is where my white Medaka rice fish are. And I've got red and blue cherry shrimp in here, thriving by the looks of it. It just needs a bit of a tidy up. I think there was 5 or 6 white Medaka in here originally. I don't know that they're bred. But I love this rock here. I actually chose this rock. This is one off this property. And there's quite a few like that. So I've got an idea for that nano tank that's actually going to use those rocks. So next door is the parrot aviary. They're separated. We'll go in there. But again, this is the view from inside. Hello guys. They are pretty tame, which I like. Finches are not necessarily tame, and these guys have settled in really well after what happened in here. What do you want? There's another pair here. These guys are known as ruddies. Oh, and there's mum going into the nest box by the looks of it. Let's see if we can have a look inside the nest box. Yeah, Dad was in there by the looks of it. There we go, some eggs. So they're pretty happy. Better put that back. That's a good shot with them all on the perch. So coming out of there, another airlock into this cage with the parrots. Oh, I best unlock it first. So their nest boxes are up here. And we got a girl right there. That's a rose Burke. Alright, door shut. So you can't really keep plants with these guys because they do just, as you can see, shred them down here. They love doing it. The tuxedo quail. And they tear anything up, including water plants. Sorry guys. So this is a yellow turquoise parrot, an Australian native. I think that's the boy. This is a normal turquoise parrot, not the yellow or the golden. He's a beautiful colour. And there's the girl. There's a pair up there as well. Just get him to turn around. So that's him on the wire there. He's pretty special. The rose Burks, much calmer. Had them. I think they're all our babies too, actually. It's a Burke parrot, and that's a rose Burke parrot, another Australian native. And the pond's very shabby, needs attention. They come down and chew everything every day without exception. Now, if you have a look in here, I have black cherry shrimp. You can see them down there. Oh, I saw a red one too, actually. So this is where I'm breeding outdoors. Those guys, they come down the birds and bath in this every single day. Hello, guys. Wondering what I'm doing, are you? Yeah, I know. Beautiful thing. So, and in contrast, you can see the finches allow greenery. So I'm going to have a rethink about how I do present this, because it looks like rubbish, and that'll be in a future video, probably that pond slash biotank video. Hello, sweetheart. You're a pretty girl. I'll get out of your way now. So that is the aviaries done. Alright, I thought we'd go and check the chickens out just before it got dark. Walk past the bonsais. People have asked me about the bonsais. We've got a few. I've been doing them for 30 years, I guess. Had a lot of help from one of my mates, Roger, who's a bonsai expert. So these are the trees in need of some pruning, that's for sure. Yeah, we're getting there, mate. One of my favourites, a big Chinese elm. Alright, chickens. Hello, girls. Hello, Cluck. That's Cluck Norris. He was a chicken that we rescued, a rooster, I should say. He was hit by a car, and he had a broken leg, broken foot. Still does, I guess. It's healed as much as they can, and he sort of lifts his leg up all the time. So I named him Cluck Norris. He's lived up to his name though, because he actually loves to attack me. So I take my stick in. I'll just show you around the chicken pen. The roof was pretty damaged and covered in leaves by the storm, so I've got to go through and tighten all that up. But I'll do that not today. And then, what are you doing, Cluck? Inside. It's pretty messy because of all the rain. They've been stuck inside. We've got an egg, yeah. On there. How are you doing, girl? Nick under there. You do have one, yeah, two. Oh wow, there's some up there. They've been busy. I'm going to collect them. So that's the haul of eggs. What's that? 3, 6, 9, 10. That's not too bad. I've got to get out now without Cluck attacking me. And he's right at the door too. Where's my stick? Okay, stick in hand. I'm going to go down this way and avoid him. I have had fights with him with a broom, where he's just continued to attack me. Yeah, you be nice. And I've hit him so hard with the broom I've actually knocked him out. And as soon as he came to, he got up and attacked me again. No girls, inside. Alright, I don't put the girls away. Yeah, you just watch it. Inside, come on, quick. There we go. Zig, come on. Got stuff to do in the fish room. One last thing to show you out here is got a second beehive. No bees in this one yet. This is my mate's. Just waiting for my hive to swarm so I can fill it full of bees for him and send it home. Get out the shot. So the bees are pretty happy, pretty calm. I never have a problem with them. I love the flow hives. They're easy to harvest. I was going to harvest today. I just don't think I'll have the time. Look at that. Isn't that cool? All the honey's capped. Completely full of bees. And these guys right here. So yeah, and the flow hive is actually set up so you can just turn a tap literally and have it come out the back here. So I will show that one day. I don't think it will be today, depending on how I go on the fish room. But that's it for the day. The sun's back, which is awesome. Hopefully it'll still be here tomorrow. I did also forget to show this pond, which is my wild pond. Absolutely nothing. This is another LRB pond. This is water spinach, which you can eat. But this has got, and I doubt we'll see anything with this light, but that there is full of shrimp, like thousands of them. So I always was. I haven't. They're still all there. So that's them in there. And yeah, I don't feed this pond whatsoever, ever. If I'm lucky, if I've got some stuff in my hands, I guess maybe I wash my hands in there, but I don't do anything to this, and it's just full of thousands of shrimp. And I've also got the red-clawed yabbies in there, so it needs a clean up. This is another one I'm going to pull apart, but it's a bit daunting to work out how I'm going to catch all of those guys and what to do with them. Okay, back to the fish room. What do you reckon, boy? You get the ball? He will chase that ball all day, every day. These are just a couple more of my bonsais on the way back. Okie doke, if YouTube would let me, I would be playing Queen. Another one bites the dust right about now. Pretty happy with the way this one's turned out after, I guess, a week of settling after I dismantled it a bit. Shrimp are happy. And that seems to be settling okay. I'd like it to sort of be a bit of a mound, really. I don't have any issues with the tank. This boost is doing well, which I'm pleased to see. No algae. The shrimp are just constantly cleaning it, so. Okay, what is next on my job list? Okay, it's getting late, so I thought I should do the rest of the outside. The general walk around. You stay there, Sheriff. And what are you doing? Yeah, the ball. Of course you are. How about you pick up your mess? So this is outside, the front door or the front area. It's where all the tubs are. I think I showed the guppies last week. I have the blue Medaka rice fish in here. This one is just about to get pulled down. I do love this pond though, especially my little dude sitting over there. He was actually one of my nanas actually from many years ago. After she passed, I got that. The blue platinums, I hope they come up. They should. It's feeding time. I could just watch these guys for hours. You do need to be quick though. For guppies, they're fast, which is unusual for guppies. Come on, slow down. There we go. Maybe I should try some slow-mo on them. Hopefully that worked, but how funny these guys remind me they're just sitting here waiting to be fed. They watch what I do, and when I speak about them or I go near them, they usually get a tad excited. I've actually got some food here for them. I'll just put some in. They're my platinum blue Medaka rice fish in a pond that's going to be dismantled. They're going to go into another deeper pond for the winter actually. In here we have the gold dust platies in there. Nothing in that tub. This one has the gold 24 karat gold guppies in here. They're looking pretty special too. And then in here are the koi that Tony bred. So these are the ones that he gave me. Again, I think I showed them the other day, but they're... Oh, where am I going to get the glare? Lots of babies. So then, over here is the goldfish pond. They will come out because it's feeding time. And I have a ritual with the goldfish, all my goldfish, as I tap the tank. And they come out to be fed. So they're the only three that are in this tank, or tub. The other goldfish that I showed earlier, they're going to go in here soon, and I'll cut back half of that frog bit. There's a few hides in there for birds. I'm worried about kookaburras out here. Yeah, he's occupied. And this has got my wagtail kahakus. Hopefully kahakus with black tails mostly. But there's a ton of babies in here as well. I really quite like this pond, the way it's set up. The Amazon sword has grown out. It's had babies, lots of babies, which are beautiful. And the red floater has got heaps of long leaves. And check out the just the condition of the foxtail outside. So, come on guys, come up and say hello. No, doesn't look like they're going to be in focus. So that's most of the outside done. Last but not least is just inside the foyer. These guys are a Lake Malawi cichlid, and they're an Mbuna species. Always pleased to see me. Doesn't matter what I do in this tank, these guys are just wanting to know what's going on. So I rescaped this from sort of natural rocks to the Texas Holy Rock, which did wonders for as far as the pH is concerned, but that was all given to me by Tony, which was awesome. Thank you, Tone, because it makes that tank look pretty special. I think that log's completely hollow, so there's lots of babies in there, and I noticed a couple of babies hiding some holes down here too. I've got some plecos in there. They haven't bred, or if they have, they've been eaten as far as the eggs or the babies are concerned. But that's, yeah, that's those guys. What are you doing, Puss? You want to go outside? This is Chino. Hello, Chino. Say hello. Alright, back to the fish room. I said it before and I'll say it again. How cool are these crabs? Every time I walk past, they're doing something different. Alright, it's about 6:30 at night. The lights are off here in this tank. You'll see I do have in the 8-footer a light that's glowing behind it. I've just got a shop light behind it that I wanted to give it some depth. But I'm going to give you a quick tour of the room. I'm knackered, so I will leave the detail stuff up to Nick when he comes. The 8-footer most people have seen. I'll just whack a bit of B-roll up here now because it's dark. And you can see it's my large Angel and large Tetra tank. These guys over here are my 6 mostly pleco tanks, I'd say, connected to my sump and the 8-footer. Zeke's still with me, he's hanging in there tonight. And of course most people have seen all of the fish that I've got in there. This is just more of a general overview of the room, how it looks today. If I can get rid of that glare, there we go. How's that for a shot? Can't see those guys too often. So I've cleaned up. I have obviously done that today. The lights are off in these guys. That tank's clearing up pretty well actually, and the hair algae is starting to I haven't turned the lights off, I think it's just how it goes with the timer, but the hair algae has started to die off, I think, because there's no fish in there. I dropped a rock in there that I collected that you would have seen earlier from my creek. I just thought it would look good in there. I've cleaned this tank up because I'm going to put, where is he? Down here. I think the first male starting to show down here. There he is. I don't know what I'm going to call him yet, but I'm going to keep him, of course. He's just starting to colour up, so he's going to go up there. That's Snowy, my bioball tank in there. You've just seen what I did with that. And of course, the crustacean tanks, so maybe crustacean alley. We need more in there to call it an alley. So this is the big 6-footer where my stir-bys are. You can see I never get sick of looking at this tank. This is just something that's pretty special, I know. I feel very privileged to be able to witness this every day, because they're hungry every day. There's my purple Lupi tank, Tanganyikans, and then across to the Mickey Mouse Platties tank. And then that one, I'm reasonably happy with it. Probably needs a bit more of a skate, but it's done okay. Pardon me. So this is Kenji, Ken for short if I'm in a hurry, but he's a samurai beta, Japanese samurai beta. Now, yeah, so Splash has gone to bed. She goes and hides in this hole. You might not see it there. It's that one there, actually. She just hangs out in there. That's where she goes after she's been fed. More guppies up here. These are the red. They're red albino. Tony gave me these guys as well. I don't think they're albino. They're ultimately the red variety. Pretty special in the light. They got to get a new tank as well. And these are the blue topaz. I love these guys. They're getting moved into, in fact, I'll show you right now, this tank here. We're on the other side of the room now. I'll show you again perspective how that is, but this is the tank here that the blue topaz are going into. Now, the reason they're not in there at the moment is they are right next door to my Japanese, or my Japan blues. So they do jump over. You'll find that there is even a, there you go, she took off a sunspot brevis in there that has jumped from this tank. So I've got to make sure in my sunspots that I don't put those guys together where they could crossbreed, because I do not want to mix them with the blue topaz. So yeah, it's possibly my favourite guppy. Although, geez, those ones, those blue platinums out the front, geez, I can't say that, can I? Okay, so this is the fry rack, which you would have seen me do. My constant companion, aren't you, Zeke? Wherever I am. So one more tank to go there, and that'll be done. One more beta tank around the back, that'll be done. I'm always happy with this tank. I planted, I think it's a 3-footer, and these guys are always, again, happy to see me. No one's nervous. The elephant nose is out at the moment. I need to wear a black shirt, don't I? Okay, so that's that tank. Now this one I've got where I blend them out the top as much as I can. That's a little bonsai I've got going there, and some grass with my Asian man. This one has got my gold danios, and what are you eating? Like something you shouldn't be. I know for a fact. What is it? Yeah, snail shell. No, thank you. Sorry about that. And my koi swords. So I'm going to do a bit of a rescape. I'm going to get the swordtails out of the goldfish tub and put them in here. This guy's pretty cool. That's sort of what I'm going for, something like this where they've got the orange and the black and the white. So I need to sort of cull that. That's another nice one. The boys are good in here too. So they're coming on well. I was a little bit worried. I put a bit of salt in the tank, hence the plants aren't doing so well. But I think they've come on well. Down here, my cories. These are my Adolphos, doing well. I have no problems with this tank whatsoever. It's settled in nicely after I've cleaned it up. I've got babies in here, of course, and that's where I get the eggs for the Adolphos. My tubs on the ground. I have my Brazilian blackline tetra babies in there that I've bred. Orange and white Medakas in there. Nothing in the other tank, just plants going to come out, but the shrimp tank come up okay. Get out of the shot. So I didn't expect to see too many shrimp because I put that new thing of Swasser at the back there, but this is the shrimp. Hang on, Z, please. Can't work out why I can't breed them, but anyway. Then, moving on, this tank has no shrimp in it, but it's ready for shrimp. I just have to check the water parameters, but it's one of, I'd really like to put some Missouri blue bolts in there. This tank needs a water change. That'll be on the next filtration video, I guess. Has my Masculata rasboras, and you can't see them, but I did just spot them before. I've got 2 half-beaks left of the 4 that I got. They chased the first one down and killed it the first night, and then I don't know where the third one went. It could still be in there, but yeah, there's 2 in there. I saw them today. My Napoensis cories, aren't they beautiful? With my green neon tetras, the Nizanai Apistos up there. How dirty that tank is, needs a clean. My green emeralds, just racing through. There we go. Alanakara Kogui. That tank again is dirty because I've got to do the filtration video. No point cleaning a tank and then having to refilm it. So these guys are out and about as well. I'm going to do my Cory videos. Probably a series on them about breeding them and the different types that I've got. So I'll put that in the playlist as it happens. These guys are cool. Then Matthias. There's about 40 something in there. I have my ocellatus in here, the gold ocellatus. Lots of babies still ripping around in there. They're shell dwellers from Lake Tanganyika. My multifasciatus. The tanks are dirty, obviously, because I've the filtration, as I said, but I've just fed them. But yeah, there's hundreds in here. So they're pretty cool. Similis, same story. Tank's dirty, but the fish are super happy. There's a heap of babies in there, I noticed today. So I've got to start feeding for that one. Went through those tanks there a little earlier. Up here, this is all on the sump still, hence you can see it's dirty. So I have my Cyctochromis black bee in there, and they colour up pretty nicely, especially when they're sparring. I've got all my babies in there that I bred, and these are my shell dwellers. These guys here are Ornata pinus. I can focus. And they're an awesome fish, tons of personality. Another really cool Lake Tanganyikan. You saw me clean this one earlier. It's come up alright, hasn't it? I am damn happy with that. Still a ton of shrimp out. I'd say it's been an hour and a half since I filmed cleaning that, maybe even 2 hours. So yeah, I'm stoked with the way that tank's come along. And no duckweed. Oh yeah. 2 tanks that are about to get bombed. Nothing in that one. I think there is some yellow shrimp actually, but I'm going to probably make that Bluey's tank, unless you're renaming something, but other than that it's Bluey. I'm pretty simple, I know. And these, speaking of blue, are my blue shrimp. There's still heaps of them in there. You can see any moving around with all that pothos root in there, and that's the top of the tank. So yeah, they're going to go across with the rifle shrimp, which I might even finish up on because I love them. The quick tour around the room. I thought I'd never see these guys, but they are out all the time, particularly in the flow. And if I drop some baby brine shrimp, yeah, they do that sort of action. Needs more shrimp. So the only dilemma that I didn't get to fix that I put much thought into was what to do with now the space left by the FX5 that was taken back by Tone, who had a cascading set of filter disasters, which means I'll work out what to do with that. The plants have already started to die off with no water, so I might get something temporary going tomorrow, but I'd really like to do a bio barrel and actually show how I could put it in there and make it work, and then do a video specifically for the bio barrels, and then how I use them and how they filter the tanks. I love them. I'd add them on all tanks if I could. So I hope you enjoyed that whip around the fish room. What do you reckon, Zig? It's getting pretty late. Okay, everyone. Well, that's it. Another day in the fish room. Another weekend, actually. It's been a long one. 2 days of filming. I'll do a day of editing tomorrow and hopefully have this out on Monday for you. Ziggy and I are off to go and get some dinner and yeah, not do filming, which would be fantastic. So I'm not going to tell you what's in next week's video because I don't know. I'm going to actually try to get that bio barrel thing done if I can. Obviously, the outtakes are at the end. It would be awesome if you could like and subscribe, comment. I have answered every comment that I could see on all of the videos, so I will get to them for sure. One of the things I noticed with the analytics is that only 25% of people have subscribed that have watched the video, so it would really help me pump the algorithm if you could. I would really appreciate it. It's been an awesome weekend. I can't wait to get this out and see what you think of yeah, what's happened in the fish room. And my little mate and I, we are done. Thank you so much. I really, really appreciate it, guys. Cheers. See you next time. Solosi. They're a Lake Tanganyika cichlid. Actually, they're not actually. Rogue eastern carpet python. If you saw last week's video, then you would have seen the carpet python. Okay. Okay, if you watched last week's video, well, you would have seen the rogue eastern carpet python that we had escaping, well, not escaping. So thank you so much for joining me. Go and get comfy because I'm going to go and talk about it. So much to show you. Let's get into it. You really let the team down yesterday, you know that, don't you?